What's up everyone, it's Bones here. In today's video, I'll be featuring Marincess as I continue my journey through Cyberstorm Access, but before I begin, if you could happen to click on those thumbs up and subscribe buttons, it would be greatly appreciated as it goes a long way in supporting the channel and shows me that you like content like this. Clicking on those notification bells would also be greatly appreciated as it notifies you when I upload on the channel. So the first new card that we have here is Adularia, and it reads, if you control a face-up card in your spell and trap zone, you can special summon this card from your hand. So do keep in mind that this card kind of needs Battle Ocean to go off, but you can only special summon Adularia once per turn this way. Gain 600 attack and defense for each face-up spell and trap on the field. You can send 2 face-up cards from your spell and trap zone to the graveyard as a cost. Send 1 level 4 or lower monster from your deck to the graveyard. You can only use this effect of Adularia once per turn. So a cool card which does enable some plays, as you'll see momentarily, and its main utility is a pretty degenerate one, as we're going to normal summon the horse, go into the slug, and then from here we can get back the slug or the seahorse off of the slug, and then we'll special summon out the horse, go into our angel, as we'll be able to get our Battle Ocean. Since we do have the Adularia in hand, we won't get the dive, but we're going to activate our Battle Ocean, then go into our anemone, as we're then going to use the Battle Ocean to bring our 2 link monsters as equip cards to the anemone, and we can special summon out the Adularia, as we'll use its effect sending the 2 equips, and then we can send the water statue, and because we haven't used our anemone, we can now bring back the barrier statue, and then we can go into the marbled rock. Now you could go into the triangle in order to get the wave so that you can get a monster negation, but what the marbled rock does is protect your statue from being destroyed by battle, since it is a 1000 attack, 1000 defense monster. But another cool thing here is that we also have the ability to get a card back to our hand for the marbled rock off of the anemone. Now I want to show a second iteration of the combo that you just saw, and I would like to point out this is going to be a very quick video because both of the cards that we did get for Marincess happen to be, I don't want to say situational, they do require some certain things in the hand to kind of make things go, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in the deck profile, but we're going to start this one by normal summoning our blue Tang. Then we can use its effect in order to send the level 1, I forget its name, but we're going to go into our slug, and then we can get back the Tang, as we're going to use the Tang's effect as chain link too, and I want you to keep in mind that if you want to play around Gamma, you would chain link 1 the slug, since it is more popular this format, but because Imperm is a card, you may want to do it as chain link 2 instead. It's really one of those judgment calls that you have to make depending on the format, but I would also like to note that I'm not going to be adding anything off of Slug or Blue Tang just to show that we don't need it. So we're going to get back the Blue Tang, as we're going to special summon out the Seahorse, then go into our Sea Slug or Sea Angel, and then we're going to get the search for the Battle Ocean since we do have the Adularia. Then we can special summon out the level 1 next to the Zone of Angels. We're going to activate the Battle Ocean, go into our anemone, and then from here we can get the equips onto the anemone, as we're going to special summon out Adularia now, use its effect sending the 2 equips in order to send the statue, basically do the same thing as previously where we're going to bring out the statue now, then go into our triangle this time around, as we'll be able to get the Seahorse off of the anemone, and then we can get our equips off of Battle Ocean if you want to chain block that, but we're then going to use the triangle here to get our wave, and then from here we can use our last 2 remaining monsters outside of the statue to go into our Link 4, which also protects you from battle in regards to the barrier statue, since while it is in the extra monster zone, your opponent's monsters cannot attack any monsters except this one. So having the ability to have the protection like that and then the Marincess wave is definitely pretty nice. You also have the ability to get some follow-up along with the additional negation that you get off of this, as we're going to be able to equip some Marincess cards onto it through the Battle Ocean. Now for the final combo, and I'll have a picture of the card up on the screen. This is another pretty linear card, I would like to say as well, as it's basically just a long yuan for the deck. And then we're going to go into our slug, as we're going to use the blue Tang. We sent the level 1 off the blue Tang, but we'll then use the effect of the Tang. We're not going to add anything again because just to show we don't need it, but now we're going to use the Ice Jade monster in order to special summon itself out. And now you have 2 options where you could technically go into the Ice Jade level 10 if you had an extender in hand, But another thing that you can do now is we're going to go into our anemone. We're then going to use the anemone now as we're going to revive the slug. From here, we can go into our sea angel and we revive the blue tang, not the slug. I keep messing the names up, but we're going to get our dive. And then from here, we can use the effect of the level 1 in order to special summon itself out. And this will give us access into a level 8 synchro now, as we can go into the Dragite, and because we play a whole archetype of water monsters, we'll always have a water monster in the graveyard, as we're going to use the triangle now, or the anemone, in order to get back a discard for the triangle, as we'll then use the triangle's effect, and then we can get ourselves the Marincess wave, and from here we can activate the dive, we can bring back a monster from our graveyard, as long as it's a Marincess monster, but we're then going to go into the Argonaut, and now we have the Argonaut plus the Dragite, along with the Marincess wave for the monster negation in hand. So, a pretty quick video, that's all the combos. Really a short one, just because this is an extender that requires a monster in hand in order to pitch it, and the reason why you see that the ratios here are 1-1-1 is because it really depends on how you want to build your deck. Some people may choose not to play any of these cards at all, but some people may choose to play maybe 1 or 2 copies of the Ice Jade, and maybe this has some utility on its own for the deck where you could just send an extra monster like the Seahorse or anything that you may just want to get in the graveyard for follow-up on one of your next turns. Again, it's one of those cards that does rely on Battle Ocean, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it not get much play. You'll also see that I'm on the 2 Battle Ocean, 2 Dive, and 2 Marincess Wave. You kind of have to for Kashtira, but there also is the ability to play Desires because of that, where you have the option to just increase your Marincess count so that you don't banish them off Desires, and get the draw 2 if you want to play around Droll and not play the Signet mining, but I just don't like the idea of it at the same time, because it's like playing Desires plays harder into Mind Hacker. But we also have the ability to flex around our extra deck, as you see here. We have the 3rd Slug if you want to take out the Dragite, since that is a pretty specific combo. The Ice Jade level 10 is here if you want to play more copies of the new Ice Jade card, and then the Bahamut and Toad is just another package that you can play. One other great thing that this deck has going for it is the ability to play cards like this. If you don't play any of these sub-engines that you see here, you can just throw in your Rivalries and Gozins, and you can lock some decks out. Same thing with the anti-spell. But another thing that this deck has going for it is the fact that it can play D-Barrier and not care at all about it. So with all of that out of the way, I'm going to get onto the card by card, because I think that most of this is pretty linear, and you saw what the cards do in the combo replays. But from here we have the 3 Blue Tang, the 3 Spring Girl, the 3 Seahorse, the 2 Pask, the 1 Mandarin, the 2 Wave, the 2 Battle Ocean, the 1 Ice Jade, the Adularia, the 3 Signet Mining, the 3 Talents, the 2 Battle Ocean, the 2 Dive, the 2 Wave, the 1 Barrier Statue, which again, all these 3 are flex spots. You can play other going second cards if you would want to. You could play bumped up number of your Ice Jade, or even Adularia. It just depends on really what you want to do. The Desires obviously there as well. But then we have the Driver, the 3 Gammas, the 3 Drolls, the 3 Ghost Ogres, and the 3 Ash Blossoms to round out the main deck. Into the extra deck, we have the 2 Slug, the 2 Angel, the 2 Anemone, the 1 Splash Mage, the 1 Heart, the 1 Marbled Rock, the 1 Argonaut, or the 1 Triangle, the 1 Argonaut, the 1 Bubble Reef, the Zelanthus, the Dragite, along with the Kragan to wrap up the deck profile. But anyways, if you made it this far into the video, I thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them down below. It's Bones, signing out.